Emily, we're back. Thanks for being here, y'all. Make sure y'all and hit that comment section so we can keep the conversation going. Now, this video is just for commentary purposes. I want to shout out B with the T. I don't know how this video passed my radar, but we're gonna talk about why Megan's career could take a turn and not for the best. We're in a climate today where we're seeing a lot of people being held accountable for things they have done in the past, and this video might not be helpful to one's career. It's not to down talk anybody. I love Megan. I love her label. I love the label heads. I mean, they do great jobs with their artist. And yeah, so this video is not to down talk anybody. It's just mere speculation. And I just wanted to present B with the T's work to my audience. So we're going to see why this video and this situation could be the snowball effect and downward spiral of one's career. Now, we all know about the cameraman. We know about the cameraman. We know about what people say about Meg and her energy, her vibe, her aura, and just her overall character. And they say it's a whole different person when consuming spirits, and I could see that, allegedly. But we're gonna learn what this cameraman went through to make him do the things that he's doing. What's the update with this case? Has anybody heard anything? If so, leave it in the comment section. But watch this with an open mind, because as I always say, and I have to say it in this instance too, it's all good until it ain't good anymore, if that makes sense. Take that. He looked out more for the younger one, fresher one from Miami. Things happened. People held it against him. And now that everything's going on, we see what's going on and how these people really feel, because they feel like opportunity was taken from them. I'm not sure if this is the case, and I'm going to shut my mouth so we can get to the content. Let's get to it.
Now, I'm sure some of y'all have heard about this story because it was pretty big this week, but Megan Thee Stallion's former cameraman, Emilio Garcia, is suing Megan Thee Stallion for unpaid wages. And he's also accusing her of creating a toxic work environment and fat shaming him, and also having with another person in front of him against his will. Now, these are some pretty wild allegations, but I'm going to go through what the lawsuit said. It said on around June 2022, plaintiff was traveling on tour with Stallion in Ibiza, Spain. After a night out, plaintiff, who's Emilio, Stallion, and 3 other women were riding in an SUV together. Suddenly, Stallion and one of the other women started having right beside the plaintiff. Plaintiff could not get out of the car as it was both moving, and he was in the middle of nowhere in a foreign country. Plaintiff was embarrassed, mortified, and offended throughout the whole ordeal. The following day, Stallion inquired whether plaintiff was in the SUV the previous night. Plaintiff confirmed that he was in the SUV. Subsequently, Stallion instructed, "Don't ever discuss what you saw." Stallion berated and directed her fat-shaming comments toward plaintiff, such as "Fat B," "Spit your food out," and "You don't need to be eating." Those are some pretty wild allegations. Now, I do think Emilio needs to back up some of these allegations with proof, because it's just not going to land if he doesn't have any proof to back it up. But I'm not going to dismiss these allegations so easily, because I do think Megan has a bad habit of blurring the professional lines with people who work with her.
Those are some very strong allegations for one to come out with. Very strong. Are they believable? It depends on the person that is overseeing the situation. But I can kind of see how maybe some of these things would take place. But I could kind of see how he could also take it out of context too, and want to bring it up when he's not getting his money. Like I said, it's all good till it ain't good. Those are some wild things to say to your employee. Those are some wild things to say to a friend. Those are just some wild things to say, period, if they were said. Now, one thing I'm going to say about dudes is they're one of the girls, allegedly. And I'm not trying to shame any community, but that's just what I see with my own eyes, is those being one of the girls. Like when they're in their element with their female friends, they act like them. So I could see a dynamic there, but I could also see that big bag Meg energy too. And it's like, for one, I might give you a fight. For two, I might fire you. Just think about the smell in that vehicle. Just think about how dude felt knowing that they were in another country and this is how she's coming at him. It's like, what do? Who knows the situation to what he had access to as far as financially to get back home or what? But if these things are true, this could be the downfall, the start of a downfall for her. Mark my words, because I don't think they're going to be able to let it go as biased as some of these other things seem to be. But then again, some people say the wonderful people that are behind her, they can pull strings. I mean, I've yet to see it, but it's what they say.
I mean, there was a video of her grinding on her hairstylist, Kalan, and he didn't seem to mind. But that is still very unprofessional, and she shouldn't cross those type of boundaries with somebody who works for her. But it comes to show you where her mind is at when it comes to things like this. She sees her employees as her friends, and she doesn't think twice about getting drunk in front of them, grinding on them, doing other sexual things. Like, it's nothing to her because she looks at them like her friends instead of her workers. And some of the responsibility has to fall on her employees as well, because they entertain it too. They do. But Megan has to be very careful, because her behavior can easily be perceived as harassment and even assault. But see, she doesn't get that. So she does things that she shouldn't do around them, like allegedly getting her freak on in front of her cameraman. That's highly unprofessional, highly inappropriate. It doesn't matter if he was just a friend. That's not cool to allegedly be having intercourse in front of somebody without their consent. That's wild. And she allegedly was fat shaming Emilio and creating a toxic work environment. I mean, a few of these allegations sound similar to the allegations that were brought against Lizzo, except Lizzo wasn't busting it wide open in front of her employees, you know. But she still was canceled. People didn't give her a chance to defend herself, which I do find interesting.
I cannot believe what I just saw, the behavior. I can't believe it. But I want to say something real quick. I was selling certain things, and the incense that this dude used to come by, I knew him from work. He had a friend like that, and let's just say he was booby trapped. He would come with his best friend, this Caucasian chick, and I just always thought it was so amazed at how booby trapped he was, because he's supposed to be. These things that went on in those clips, you guys, shouldn't be going on in the workplace. Turn the tables. What would happen? What would happen if you took that same scenario but just flipped the roles and the people? Oh my goodness. It wouldn't be this quiet right now. We have somebody that was... He had willing participants. They used to set him up themselves, and imagine if these things, oh my goodness. Wow. This is why I say I feel like just this video alone, and it just from seeing this video alone, I feel like this can open the door to multiple bad situations. Let any of these people that this thing has happened to see the other people, it's going to be like the follow me effect. I forgot what they call it, copycat effect. And there's proof. But I gotta say this too, we gotta be fair. It's also proof on the flip side they were having a good time. But I feel like if the roles were reversed and it was a female in that position, they'd be able to easily say, oh, I was scared to speak out. I was blah, blah, blah. How would that work for a male? The bodyguard, the hairstylist, the cameraman, and notice what alcohol, common denominator. But yet she says, Tori kept on catching me. No, you kept getting. Let's get to the next clip.
I see more people coming to Megan's defense, but they didn't show the same energy to Lizzo, which actually proved my point that I made in another video. I said the reason why Lizzo got canceled is because people don't like her. People only protect people they like. And Megan seems to be more liked and more protected by certain groups of people than Lizzo is. So I do find that to be very interesting. Now let me get back to the lawsuit. This is what was also said. After confiding in the makeup artist, Stallion learned of the plaintiff's contemplation of quitting due to Stallion's possessiveness combined with lack of appropriate pay for the amount of time asked of him, as discussed fully below. Later that night, Stallion drunkenly FaceTimed the plaintiff, and after plaintiff expressed his belief he was being underpaid for the amount of hours actually asked of him, they reached an understanding, with Stallion affirming we're good. Despite the conversation, plaintiff remained scheduled for Stallion's upcoming gig the following Friday. Nevertheless, on or around June 2023, Roc Nation unexpectedly reached out to plaintiff the night before the scheduled Friday gig and informed him that his services would no longer be required by Stallion. So Amelios' main complaint here is the fact that he got fired and he wasn't properly paid for the work he did with Megan Thee Stallion. In a lawsuit, he went on to say that he worked all times of the day. She would call him and tell him to do this and ask him to edit, and he would work hours overtime without getting paid, allegedly. And his work hours weren't properly recorded because he was misclassified as an independent contractor instead of an employee of a company. The lawsuit said as a personal cameraman, plaintiff was forced to take on a myriad of duties and work much longer hours. Specifically, plaintiff worked in excess of 50 hours under the close scrutiny and explicit discretion of Stallion, who continuously contacted plaintiff at all hours, directing him to brainstorm TikTok videos, to edit content that plaintiff had not captured, and complete various assignments. For all relevant times, Stallion controls and directs the performance of the plaintiff's work, who does not provide personal cameraman services independently of his relationship with Stallion. Stallion specifically told plaintiff that he was not allowed to service any other client other than herself on more than one occasion.
Now, there's a common theme in all of these situations. Take that. Like I said before, he gave that chick from Miami so much that he didn't provide the others. Now, do we know if that chick from Miami was doing what these others was doing? We don't know, but she did say she enjoyed Mountain Dew showers. So that adds a bit of speculation. But I say that to say this. When you're not taking care of these people, we see what happened. Shannon Sharp, that chick, I think he could have stopped that thing for $25,000 or $50,000. Now it's in the millions. We got Smokey Robinson. And like Umar said, it's all good until you stop paying, until you stop taking care of these people. When these things stop happening as far as the being taken care of, come on. And that's why I say, if a few of these other people came out, it could be really bad for her. And I think she knows it. And as far as her being liked so much, I think that comes from one of her label heads, that guy that can rap so good. Yeah, he's a great person, so I could see why people would like her so much just off the strength of him. Anyway, let's continue.
Allegedly. He said in his Facebook post, "Over the last 5 years, I sacrificed and went through a lot. If you know, you know. I had one main client and made time for local clients when my schedule allowed me to. With that, I lost out on a lot of opportunities, local and within the industry, because people thought I was exclusive to one person or they never knew when I was in town." He also said the CEO of Roc Nation, Desiree Perez, altered his pay and made him receive a lot less than what he was owed. And he even liked this tweet that Nicki posted, hinting that Desiree was behind him getting fired. So there's a lot of things going on, and some people might say that Emilio is only bringing this lawsuit against Megan because he's mad that he no longer works with her. I could see how he would be disgruntled about that because that was his main stream of income at one point, but I don't think he has any real interest in working with Megan anymore at this point. I mean, he claimed that the work environment was toxic and stressful for him, and he wants to get compensated for all of the unpaid work he did. However, Megan's legal team is clapping back at Emilio, and they're basically saying that this is a money grab and it has nothing to do with harassment, and they will deal with this in court. So who knows, maybe they might quietly settle to shut him up, or maybe they won't pay him at all because he's going up against a heavyweight. Megan's lawyer is Alex Spiro. He represents Roc Nation and Jay-Z. So we all know how that's going to end. I mean, this lawyer is going to find loopholes in this lawsuit if possible. So if Emilio doesn't have substantial evidence to back up his claims, this lawsuit can possibly be thrown out. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
This is interesting. That name, DP Perez, it keeps popping up. Why does this name keep popping up? And it's like, it's around altering things or making things fraudulent in a sense. Like, it's a lot of weird behavior surrounding that name. Nicki, I can see her backing, bro, and posting what she posted. I could really see that, and I could see it as I could see it being done, but not in a sense of going get Meg. But yeah, interesting. The thing is, this dude has to be careful, because if a lot of this footage and this and that comes out, it can change things. He's smiling, tongue out, and this and that, and come on. And as far as the clientele thing, you guys, I totally get it, because you're giving so much of your time to this one person, and in some scenarios it can work to where you might be able to finesse other gigs while you're out on tours or something with other artists or something. But I feel like with a person like Meg, it's impossible, the demand. So yes, that person has to be paid for what they get, paid for what they're doing for that person, and paid nicely, even though they can choose to take that job for Meg or not. Come on, because you know that person can't work when they're working with you. Why be so selfish? Allegedly, the hairstylist. Now it's easier for him because it's not often that people always want pictures. But women in their hair, that's a different ball game. You throw your on and you let people know, girl, I did Megan's hair. You see this, you see that, you see this. Here go me the videos and blah, blah. I did Megan hair, girl. I'm official. If I wasn't, come on. And then just the point of, girl, my beautician used to do Meg's hair. Yeah. But it's funny that these people could have a career-changing opportunity and opt out of it to do their own thing. It says a lot about them, but it also says a lot about the situation. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the comments. If you want to look out, y'all, because I am not on this channel because of things I speak on. Trap House Kitchen 1. I'm out. Peace.